Man, I'd like to welcome y'all back to another episode of Beyond the Fear podcast, place where we just like to speak positivity, speak life, and just be positive, motivate, encourage. And today's episode is just about it's not your job to heal everybody, and that's something that I go through. It's something that's put me in a lot of tough situations in relationships and with friendships. And the main reason being, I don't know why I always feel like it's my job to heal people. Maybe because for most of my life, I've been the person that people have come to, most of my adult life. I've been the person that people have come to for advice when they're going through relationship troubles, when they're going through just situations at work, whatever the case may be. They just come to me for advice. And so just naturally, naturally for me, I don't turn that off. I don't turn off the trying to advise people, trying to help people, trying to heal people. And now that I'm at a different point in life, it's so crazy to look back on it. Like, how are you trying to help and heal people when you weren't even healing yourself? But at the time, I didn't see anything wrong with me, not because I felt like I was perfect, but because I wasn't putting myself in situations. I wasn't in a relationship, so I wasn't seeing all the flaws that I had as a boyfriend. I wasn't really going out too much with my friends, so I wasn't seeing, maybe the how how glass half empty I would mentality I was having, because I wasn't really surrounding myself around too many people. It was just like family, close friends who knew me, understood me, so I wasn't really putting myself in situations to really give myself a chance to see my flaws. So I didn't really look at myself as, needing to heal, because I never really thought about it, or needing, to grow, because again, I wasn't putting myself in any type of new situations. I just stayed in situations where, okay, I know what's going on. I knew what was going on. I knew who was going to be around. So I was never putting myself in any uncomfortable or any new situation. So there was never really anything popping up for me. So, but back to the healing people, and that not being your job. I say that because, man, as someone who's starting my own healing process, my own trying to correct my childhood traumas, or at least trying to correct my behaviors that were created because of my childhood traumas. Healing yourself takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of focus. So trying to heal someone else, man, when you take that burden on, that's a lot, because you're putting someone else's life, someone else's well-being into your hand, and man, that's a lot of pressure, right? And I don't think that it's fair to you, and I don't think it's fair to the other person that needs the healing. I feel like you should be focusing on you, and going through your healing process. And even if you feel like you're at the end of your process, or towards the end, or you feel like you've done your healing, whatever the case is, I still feel like nothing wrong with being that support, being that backbone, being that help. But I honestly, truly feel that healing starts from within. So that person has to go through and heal themselves. It's not my job to heal the person that I'm with. It's not my job to heal my mom, to heal my brother, to heal my friends, to heal anybody. That's not my job. Can I be of assistance? Yes. Can I help if I see something going on? Can I call them out on it, or can I bring it up? Can I, touch on it? Yes, 100%. But it's not my job to go in and try to fix whatever it is that's going on with them. That's not my job. As a friend, as someone who likes to keep it real and be honest with people, it's my job to point it out. It's my job to let you know, hey, you doing this again, or hey, you know, you said you weren't gonna do that anymore. I just caught you. You know what I'm saying? Not on some trying to blame them, but just trying to make sure that they're seeing it, because sometimes we just subconsciously do stuff. We become so, it becomes such a natural thing for us that we don't even realize we're doing it. Like for me, being passive aggressive, right? You know, that's one of the things with me that I do without even thinking about it, because it's just become so normalized in my life that sometimes people have to call me out on it, like, hey, we're not doing that passive aggressive stuff, man. I thought you was through with that. And I got to catch myself and apologize for doing it, because yeah, I did do that. And it becomes so ingrained in us to do it because we're doing it for so long, you don't even realize you're doing it. It's just become that normal. So, you know, as a friend, you know, I'll call stuff like that out, but I don't look at it. No, I no longer look at it as it's my job, because once I start doing that, then your burdens become my burdens. So now I'm taking on all of your troubles when I have my troubles to deal with, but now I have to put my troubles on the back burner because I'm not being a genuine friend. I'm not being a genuine family member. I'm not being a genuine partner if I'm not, at least that's how I feel, or how I felt. I'm not being those things if I'm not trying to help you address your needs. But, you know, the whole time I'm crying and dying on the inside because I have things that I need to address, but I don't have the time nor the luxury to do that, because my number one mission is fixing other people, or fixing you, fixing this, fixing that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why for me, this was like an important message to talk about. Just, you know, me, I'm a TV show movie fanatic. So again, just I was just watching something, and that's why I get most of my inspiration for my videos or the podcast episodes, is just watching stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? That's something that I can relate to. And like I've said before, everything that I talk about is going to be things that I can relate to, either things that I'm doing, things that I've done, or things that interest me. You know, it's going to be something that relates to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm very rarely, at least when it's just me. Now, obviously, when I start to bring other people on, we might touch on subjects that I have no experience, no knowledge of. But at least for right now, I try to make sure that everything that I talk about, I can at least correlate to some aspect, some corner of my life. So, but yeah, so back to just helping other people heal. I'm not saying, what I don't want people to take from this conversation is, okay, I'm no longer helping you heal. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's not your job. It should not be your priority. You should be your priority. And if, you know, in the process of helping yourself, like if you're going to therapy and you learn an exercise that helps you, nothing wrong with telling your friend or your partner or whoever, hey, this is what helps me. This is what I learned in therapy. This is what helps me calm down, or this is what helps me deal with whatever problem. I see that you're going through something similar. Try this. Or, hey, this therapist that I'm going to, he or she is really helping me. You might like them as well. Try them out. So there's nothing wrong with helping somebody, but it should not be your job. And I think that too many times for a lot of us, it becomes our job, as opposed to, hey, I don't, you know, it's supposed to help, and it becomes like mandatory. It becomes your obligation. And so that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about once it gets to the point to where you feel like this is my job, or this is what I have to do, or I'm obligated to do this. That's more so what I'm addressing, not the I'm just trying to help. That's understandable. But for me, I just got so caught up in other people's dramas and other people's issues that they became mine. Now I'm stressing and I'm worrying like I'm going through it, and it wasn't the best thing for my health. And so that's why for me, I had to take a step back from everybody. I wasn't trying to be fake. I wasn't trying to be disingenuous. But I had to do that for me, because I started to recognize, okay, I'm taking on too many people's traumas, too many people's drama in their life, and I'm making it my own because at the time I really didn't have much going on, just mostly working home, so I didn't really have many issues, but I had so much stuff stressing me out because I'm trying to help so many people, and it's like, and it's just obviously when you're going through something, and you got somebody who's willing to help and who's trying to help and who's going above and beyond to help, naturally you want to unload on those people. You want to unload your stuff because you get tired of carrying your baggage. Your baggage gets heavy after a while. So when you have people who are willing to help you, are willing to talk to you, you know what I'm saying, and they're allowing you to just be vulnerable and just be free, and they're not judging you, they're not holding your past against you. Now they might bring it up and be like, hey, just be accountable for that, but they're not judging you for it, and they're not just pressing you up against the glass about it. It becomes easier and easier the more you talk to just unload, and you don't know how to stop, or you just don't want to stop. Something in your mind might be saying, okay, I've given them enough for the day, enough for this conversation, let me get them a break. But again, it just becomes easier as you unload, that you don't want to stop unloading until you've unloaded everything. And my problem was I never wanted to stop anybody. I never wanted to be the person to be like, ooh, yeah, man, that's a lot to take in, man. I need a little break. You know what I'm saying? I might think it, but I'm not going to say it, because in my mind, I'm thinking, well, how unfair is that I offer to listen, I offer to be there, I offer to, just be someone, again, that can listen, that can be there, that can give advice. And then as they're unloading on me, it's like, okay, wow, you going through a lot. And some of these things I can't relate to because I haven't been through them. So how can I genuinely help you? You know what I'm saying? It's not just about saying a few nice words to make you feel better. It's about genuinely helping you, genuinely making sure that you don't go through this again, genuinely making sure that your situation is better when I leave. And man, like I said, after getting through that point, I realized, okay, that's not my job, right? Emotionally, that's not my job. Mentally, that's not my job. I don't have the education to help some people get through everything that they need to get through. And sometimes, the only thing I can really tell people is, things like, trust in God. Things happen for a reason. You got to have faith. You got to go through the tough times. And these are all things that I genuinely believe. And these are things that help me because I believe them. Other people may not believe them. Other people may not believe those things. Not saying they don't believe in God, but they might not be in a space where they want to hear, okay, everything happens for a reason. Or, man, you going through these things for a reason. Or, man, you strong enough to handle this. Some people just get tired of being strong. Like, some people get tired of being that strong friend. Some people get tired of being that single parent. It's a burden that weighs heavy on people. You know what I'm saying? Because we are human. So, it starts to weigh heavy at times. So, man, it just got to a point to where it's like, man, everybody's going through so much, and I don't have the education, the emotional capacity, the mental capacity, and sometimes the empathy to help them through, everything that they need to go through. Because again, I can speak for me, especially when it comes to like relationships. As I've told y'all before, like when I got my heart broken at like 15, 16, and I started to build that wall, what that did was that capped off my empathy levels, especially when it comes to relationships. So when people come to me talking about relationship stuff, it's like I can give you levels of empathy up to a certain point. Then it's like, all right, man, come on now. Like, this person has shown you who they are. Like, you either going to listen to, you going to pay attention to what they're showing you, what they're telling you, who they are, or you're not. And if you're not going to listen, then you deserve to be in this situation. You know what I'm saying? You're doing this to yourself. And I know that isn't always the right response to give people, but that's just where I am sometimes in life. It's just like, man, this person is showing you that they only care about you but so much. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you want them to go this extra mile and be this person that they're not. Or you want them to be a person that you can see them being, or, you know, with time, but they're not there right now. This is who you're with. You're with this person, this version of this person that they are right now in this moment. Can you handle that? And sometimes you can't. And if you can't, then let that person go. And I get it. That ain't always the easiest thing to do because you love and you care about that person. And it's just like, okay, so if you're at that point in your life or at that crossroad, now you got to decide, I either want to accept this person as they are and deal with them flaws and all, or I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just that friend again, because my empathy levels are only at a certain point. Not that I don't understand, because I've been there where I know somebody's bad for me, but I care about them and I love them, and the comfort of them is so high, and it's got me in such a comfort zone that I'm willing to put up with all of that. And I get it. It's toxic. I'm not making any excuses for it, but I've been there where you know somebody isn't good for you, not because they're a bad person, not because you're a bad person, but y'all are both in bad spaces, right? Neither of y'all have healed yet, and y'all relationship is just toxic to each other. Y'all, it's toxic for each other, again, because y'all haven't started to heal. So not calling her a bad person, not calling myself a bad person, we just haven't healed, and we weren't good for each other at the time. But because it was so comfortable and it was so easy to go back to each other, we stayed in that space. So I do understand it. So mentally I understand. It's just my empathy levels is just gonna be at a certain point. All right, dog, what we doing? Like, what you gonna do? You gonna stay with him? You gonna stay with her? Okay. You know who he is, you know who she is, you know what they bring to the table, you know what they not gonna bring to the table. You just know who they are at this point in their lives. If you choose to stay, then that's on you. I can't sit here and continue to get mad at him and get mad at her for being exactly who you told me they were, and for them being exactly who they've already shown you they are. If you choose to stay, then you choosing to stay with them, flaws and all. So stop complaining about the flaws that you already know are there. And again, I know that that's sometimes a harsh thing to hear when you're going through like some heartache or through, you know, a heartbreak or a breakup, whatever. But, you know, sometimes you just got to give people the, you know, the honest truth. And I think that that was another thing that made me realize, okay, I can't keep trying to help people heal. I can't keep jumping into situations and relationships based off of, you know, I can heal you. And because that's not, take it not being fair to me out of it, because I'm the one choosing to be in the relationship. It's not fair to that person. That person needs to heal. If I jump into a relationship with somebody all based off the premises of, oh, I can help heal this person or I can help fix this person, that means that I don't even love this person. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to love the person that I want them to be once I fix them. I'm trying to love the version of this person that I believe they can be once they're at the end of their healing, instead of just loving this person for who they are, where they are right now, and, you know, loving them while also trying to help them get to that space. Excuse me. And I think that for me, too many times it was just, you know, you're trying to, your intentions are good. My intentions were always good. My intentions were always, let me help this person get to a better space. Or, man, my friend is hurting. Let me be there for my friend. And I think that for me, where I started getting things confused, is there's a difference between being there for somebody and then trying to fix them. And I think that for me, where I messed up was I started to mix being there and trying to fix them. Like, being there for them, I'm just here, I'm listening, I'm giving some advice. You know, I'm not judging you on whatever it is that you're telling me. I may not agree. I may strongly disagree, and I'm going to voice that. But other than that, I'm here for you. I'm here to listen. I'm here to help you, you know, kind of mentally navigate through your, you know, your thoughts. You know, you can bounce ideas off of me. I don't know if that's a good idea, man. Maybe you do need to do that. Maybe you do need to try that. But that's just being there for somebody. I started to mix that with wanting to fix people, and that's where I'm trying to tell people what to do. And for me, it became very hypocritical, because I'm not even doing the things that I tell other people to do. Doesn't mean that the message was wrong. It's just I wasn't doing it either. So for me, it just became hard to continue giving people messages when I'm not living the way I'm trying to tell other people to live. Like, it might be the right message, it might be the right thing to do, or the right way to live, but I'm not doing it. So it just started to become a conflict of interest, and hard for me to continue to tell somebody, okay, do this, to live this way, to try to live your life a certain way, when I wasn't doing it either. So once I started to take a step back, it's like, okay, there is a difference between trying to fix somebody and just being there for somebody. So for me, I'm there for my friends, I'm there for my family. I'm always somebody that they can call on when they're going through something, no matter how big or how small, whether it's something I can relate to or not. Because even if I can't relate to it, I can sit there and just listen. I don't have to be able to relate to everything that you're going through to listen and to give my honest opinion, even if it's something that I feel is way out of my depth, or something that I just have no concept of, or no understanding of. I can at the very least sit there and listen, and just give my opinion. Or even if I don't have one, just listen, let you get it all out. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times what I'm learning is the people, they have the answers already. They just need to get all their thoughts out of their heads. They need to get all that out their system. They need to unload all of this baggage, so that the answer is right there, but it's just at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? They got to go through everything first. They got to talk everything out before they get to the bottom of the barrel, and they're like, the answer's been here this whole time. I just needed to get out of my own way. And 9 times out of 10, that's what they need to do, is just get out of their own way. And if I can help by just listening, then that's great. I don't mind doing that. But man, I'm through trying to fix people, because that's not my job. And the version of them that I might be trying to fix them into may not be the best version of them. Who knows what the best version of them is? They might be going through something, or want to do something, or they might have, something in their head that they're not telling me. So the best version, they know who the best version of them is. Or at least they know where they want to go. And my idea of the best version of them may be a total opposite direction than, where they're trying to go. So for me, the main thing that I try to do now as a friend is just sit back and listen. I do my best, because I am a very opinionated person. So I do my best not to give my opinions quick. I try to listen to the whole conversation, listen to the whole situation, get the whole story before I give any opinion. And sometimes even once I get the whole story, I still try to hold off until they ask, well, what do you think? Well, what do you feel is going on? And then I'll give my opinion, because I don't want to, because they might give me a piece of information that might change my whole view on something. Or I might start my opinion and they might be like, oh, well, I forgot to tell you that part of the story. So I do my best to just listen. And if they ask for my opinion, I give it. But even in my opinions now, my opinions are more so what I would do in those situations, as opposed to trying to tell someone else what to do in those situations. So again, as someone who's gone through a toxic relationship, a relationship that was toxic on both sides, not just putting the blame on one person, it was toxic on both sides. But again, because we weren't healing, we were both in a place of hurt, we were both in a place of anger, we were both in a place of dealing with abandonment, dealing with a lot of things from our past, and that we weren't healing from. And because we didn't heal from it, all we did was bring that hurt, that pain, that anger, that frustration, that manipulation into this relationship, and we just put it on each other's shoulders, not realizing the burden that each other already had. And so, man, now that it's over, it's kind of a tough thing. It's one of those things where I'm glad it happened, because it's shown me a lot about myself. It's shown me a lot about her and the great person that she is and the amazing person that she can be once, you know, she starts the healing. And the same thing for me, the amazing person that I can be once I start healing. So I'm glad that it happened, but I hate that we had to take each other through so much for us to see that, hey, we need help. And you know what I'm saying? And again, because now that I've gone through some things, it's helped me understand things, because before I started going through all these relationships and all these situations as an adult, I never understood how people can't see that they have a problem, how people can't see that they're addicted, how people can't see you're hurting this person that you care about. And it's like, it's not always that simple. It's easy on the outside looking in to say, man, it's so obvious that you're doing this. How can you not see it? But when you're in the middle of it, you don't see it. I can completely understand. I can't always put it into words and explain it, but I can, now that I've been through at least some things, I can understand how somebody could be in a relationship, care about this person, and not see how much you're hurting this person, because all you see is your hurt. All I see is my hurt. All I saw was the way that she was hurting me. I didn't really take much time to investigate or to put into how much I was hurting her. So even when she would tell me, it's like, yeah, okay, certain things I could see because it was obvious, but I didn't see the emotional and how deep it was until I was able to take a step back. Well, once everything started to kind of come to the end and we were able to take genuine steps back and, you know, let our guard down and be vulnerable with each other and be honest with each other, then it's like, oh, wow, dang, I really did those things. And she was the same thing with her, like, wow, I really did those things to him. And so, like, yeah, so sometimes it takes, you know, sometimes you gotta be in that vulnerable space, in that vulnerable place, to really start to uncover these things and why you do these things. And so I realized that, man, it's things from my childhood that still affect me to this day that I never really thought about. Things from, like I said, my very first relationship, and you know, that heartbreak that still affect me to this day. So, you know, as I'm starting to get my life together, planning on going to counseling, planning on, you know, really just tackling these issues, because I want to be a better version of myself, for me first, and then for whoever my partner will be, and, you know, for my kids down the line and things like that. So I want to be the best version of myself so that I can be the best boyfriend, the best fiance, the best husband, father, brother, son, friend, cousin, you know, because I'm realizing that my mental struggles and my mental health are affecting a lot of my relationships. But I am willing to put the work in. I do see that it was a problem, so I had to acknowledge it first. So now I am starting to set up things so that I can start putting the work in and putting the time in and the effort and energy into healing myself and then getting into a better space, because I understand that that's going to help me in the long run. And I know that I got some tough times ahead of me, you know, with the therapy and with really, you know, getting myself healed, because it's going to be more hard looks, more tough looks in the mirror and breaking myself down. But, you know, whatever it takes to get to where I need to be. So to wrap everything up, man, it's not your job to heal the people around you. It's your job to heal yourself, to start getting better, and then hopefully as you start to heal, you can help other people heal by whatever exercises or techniques you're using. The therapists or the people that you're seeing, you can recommend them, and just hopefully as you start to heal, the people around you see you healing, see you getting into a better space mentally, physically, financially, and they want the same thing, so they reach out to you and ask you those things. But stop burdening yourself with other people's emotions and other people's situations, because it's not your job to heal. If you can help, but there's a difference between being there for somebody and healing somebody or fixing somebody. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be there for them, be there for them, but understand that being there for them is not the same as trying to fix them. Those are two totally different things. Man, just focus on you, focus on healing you, and hopefully you got the right people around you. They'll help you heal and you can help them heal, and nobody's relying on the other for healing. So, that's the end of today's episode. If you're listening on whatever platforms, I thank y'all for listening. I really do appreciate y'all. Y'all do not understand how much I do appreciate y'all. But leave a review if you can. If you're watching on YouTube, man, like, comment, and subscribe. And man, I'll see y'all on the next episode. Again, thank y'all for listening and thank y'all for watching. I really do appreciate you.